going to join us, but he said he might be a few minutes late. He was, I don't know what, but he was doing something this morning.
So, are you taking any vacation?
Taking any? I don't really know. I don't know what I'm going to be up to for the next little while, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm retired, so in theory, I'm on vacation all the time.
Yeah. Maybe I'll start calling myself retired too. I don't know if it's very sustainable for me at this point.
Yeah, it's definitely a year ago I was a wealthy man, but
yeah, that's right. That's right. Well, that might happen again someday, hopefully.
Yeah.
So let's see here. You guys want to start with some blockchain consensus stuff?
I'm game for anything. I mean,
Cool.
I'm still thinking about my next steps. I want to post my my node objects.
Oh, yeah.
In our library somewhere.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I would love to talk about that, Jim, but I think maybe not during the consensus one. But yeah, I liked that project a lot. You know where Libro lives, right?
Libro.
I'll send you a link. This is a tiny bit off topic, but it'll be super fast. So let me just give you that link, and then you can think about if you want to make it live in there. I think it's going to be pretty generally useful. I guess I'll just put that in here. Rolling. All right, I sent you a GitHub link for where I've started some standard library stuff, but you can decide if that's a good home for it. What up, Isaac?
How's it going, guys? Hey, I'm gonna have to run here in 1 second, but I'll be back. All right.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Happy birthday, by the way.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, happy birthday.
Yeah, it's today.
Is it your birthday today also, Joshy?
Is it your birthday today?
It's my birthday today.
No way!
Oh, really?
Happy birthday, Jim. Dude, that's cool.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Amazing. Oh, all right, cool. So I'm going to try to find some program to draw with. My preferred program, GIMP, just got updated in a way that I hardly recognize it anymore. So I don't know if that's going to work for me, but I might be. Oh, I'm not even sharing my screen. Let me try that.
I almost made the mistake of recommending Google Draw.
Oh, what's up, Jeremy? Morning, man.
Yo, what's going on?
We're just going to start with some blockchain consensus stuff. I wanted to see if I could turn that page sideways, but I don't know if I can. Okay, I guess we'll just see if this works like this. No, how do I even draw something? This is going to be real embarrassing. Okay, that's a start. That's pretty good. Can I do text though? Grr. Jim, can you start a Google Draw thing and share it with us? Then we can use that one. Oh, that helps. That's good. Can people hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay, cool. I don't know if this program's going to work out. I think there's more of a learning curve than I probably.
Yeah, Google Draw is a lot simpler.
Yeah. Can someone just share a link there and we can work from that?
I can create.
Nice. So in Korea, Isaac and I kind of just on the spot, like we hadn't planned this, but people were asking like, well, how does Casper work with the whole blockchain? And so we just tried it. And I think we came up, well, mostly for this part, I came up with something that I think works. And then Isaac was saying later that I hadn't used the ghost rule, which I think is right. So I think maybe I'll show you what I did, and we can talk about that, and then he can share how the ghost rule might work. Oh, nice. Still here.
Sort of.
Stealth. All right. So,
Yeah, so I haven't I still need to read through the Casanova doc to see what that's like. Have you already did that yet?
say that one more time.
The Casanova, I believe the name of it.
Yeah, the
Consensus?
Pyrofex consensus thing.
Yeah, I haven't read that yet, but I still probably should.
I haven't
at
read
some
it
point
either.
this
I
weekend.
started it, but I didn't finish it. So yeah, maybe that'll come up today too. All right. Did anybody post a Google link or anything here?
Yeah, I posted in the chat in the Zoom.
Yeah, I posted the one I made also because his is view only.
Okay, I might have to stop share to see the chat. Oh wait, here we go. Chat. Oh God. Okay, we can. Okay. All right, I'm with you. I'm with you now. Maybe. Okay, this is looking promising. Yes. Yes.
Still working.
Oh, it's ready. Oh, I can just draw on this now? Oh, awesome. Okay. All right, that's great. And it looks like I can do text. All right, boom. I'm so happy now. Thank you for that. So let's just try one of these things. And it's going to look a little bit like all the other Caspers we've done, you know, the binary consensus and the list consensus and such things. But we're also going to be keeping track of not just the Casper diagram, but also a blockchain at the same time. Oh, and we need weights here, right? So maybe Bob can have 3. Maybe Alice can have 5. Okay, looks pretty good.
Do you figure out how the ghost rule works here?
Yeah, do you want to start right away with the ghost rule? That might be a wise idea.
I don't. I think we should do what we did originally and then maybe talk about how the ghost rule modifies it.
I think that's a good idea too. Yeah, let's start with that. Can I? Whoops. I wonder. Whoops.
Yeah, you have to, whenever you like draw, you have to use or go back to the arrow, I believe.
Oh, roger that. Okay. So
That tricked me up so many times.
Yeah. I'm glad to have the voice of experience helping out. We'll do our regular Casper thing on the left over here, and then on the right we'll keep track of what the blockchain looks like. Okay, maybe that'll give me a square. No, that's okay. So here's block 0. That'll be like, that's the Genesis block. And last time I had drawn the Genesis block under each one of the validators, but I think in hindsight we realized that was not such a good idea, and we should just draw the blocks that they propose within the game.
Yeah, the way that I modified it, not that we have to do it like this, is I just drew the Genesis block above all of them and then just had their first block all reference back to the Genesis block.
That's a pretty good idea. So let's try that. Text tool. So B0 can live up here.
You can duplicate the block if you hold the control key and move your mouse.
Oh, no way, really?
Yeah, but not when on the text directly. Yeah, exactly.
Got it. Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it's also a little embarrassing to see, for you guys to watch me struggling with such a basic tool, but that's okay. We all learn, right? We're learning together.
I already have.
Plus, you've seen all of us struggle so many times as well, so it's all okay.
You had to help me update my path yesterday for K-Framework. Like, come on, man.
All right, cool. So, all right, who's going to create the first block here? Let's just
Claire.
say, yeah. All right, cool. So Alice will create, but okay, wait, let's see. I'm going to see if I can remember how we did this. We put like the block that she creates over here, and it has to reference back to a parent. So on the right side, this is the blockchain, and the lines mean parents. And then on the left, it's Casper, and the lines mean justifications, just like they always have. So let's say Alice created B0, and then its only justification, the only thing she's seen so far is the Genesis block. Damn it. Okay. Is that close enough to... No.
You gotta click the arrow, bro.
This arrow. Okay. Okay. There we go. Oh, perfect. Thank you. All right. And then just, I guess, just to start with the basics so we can kind of understand what the two diagrams mean, let's say that Bob goes next, and Bob has already seen Alice's, oh, sorry.
Yeah, that should be B1. Yeah, cool.
There we go.
Yep, perfect.
So then let's say Bob goes next, and Bob has seen Alice's B1, so he builds one right here. And, you know, since he's seen it, and as long as he's not trying to, like, censor something in B1, then he can just go ahead and build right off of B1. There we go. So now I can do the arrow and make this a reasonable size. Boom, look at that. So in this diagram then, B2, the justification is B1. All right, cool. And then, you know, we could draw one up to B0, but implicitly he's already acknowledged B0 because it goes indirectly like this. Okay, so that looks pretty good. And, you know, we could keep going like this forever. Claire makes one, Alice makes one, whatever. As long as they all seen each other's, the blockchain just grows linear like a chain. And, you know, I guess in some sense that's like the ideal situation. But in practice, network latency comes along, and so we don't always get that behavior. So let's pretend here that somehow the internet connection between Bob and Claire got slowed down, and so Claire has actually not seen B2. So when she creates a block, well, maybe I'll draw it. Yeah, that sounds fine. I'll draw it over on the right side first. So let's say Claire creates B3, and whoops. And it looks like this. So there's a fork in the chain now, not necessarily malicious or anything like that. Claire just didn't know about B2, so she built off of, you know, what she thought was the latest tip. And so then, question for the field, what do the justifications look like at this point on the Casper side?
So B3 has only B1 as a justification.
Yeah, exactly right. Just like that. And then maybe just to make it, oh shoot. I'm just gonna move this down a little bit so it's a little more clear. Yeah, there we go. All right, cool. So that also all looks fine. And so now here's where it gets interesting. So let's say Alice goes to make another block, and let's just say Alice has seen everything. She's seen as much as we have, so she knows about B0, B1, B2, B3. So the question then is, well, where does Alice want to build her block? Like, oh, and by the way, we're playing blockchain here, so not block DAG, so no multiple parents on this right side or anything. So the question is, does Alice build off of B2 or does she build off of B3?
Alice should build off of B2 only because B1 is linked in this justification, or the Genesis is blocked. It's in the B2's justification, correct?
Genesis is in B2's justification. That's true. It's also in B3's justification, though.
Oh yeah, I just saw that. Shit.
B3 has more weight.
What was that, Tomislav?
B3 has more weight. Claire has more.
That's right. So yeah, B3 was made by Claire, and her weight is 4. B2 was made by Bob, and his weight's only 3. So I solved that exactly the same way you just did, Tomislav, and said, okay, well, out of these two candidates, these two tips that she knows about, B3 is heavier, and so that's where she should build.
But one question was crossing my mind. Claire can see message B2, but she can pretend that she didn't see it and just say, okay, I will create.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah, like maybe when Claire built this B3, she actually did see Bob's block B2, but like I don't know, for whatever, there was some transaction that she wanted to censor, or maybe she just doesn't like Bob and wanted him to not get a reward and pretended not to see it. Yeah, I agree. I think you're right. We saw that same thing in list consensus and integer consensus and binary consensus too. So B4 went here, built off of B3. So, okay, so where do I draw B4 on this left-hand Casper diagram?
B3 is a parent to B4.
Yeah, bingo, that's right. So the justification will go back to B3. Oops, I forgot to do that over here, I guess, too.
Sorry, I missed who is proposing B4.
Alice is proposing B4.
Alice is proposing B4. Okay, cool.
What the heck is going on here? Ah, there we go. What is that? Okay. Okay.
Oh, did you see you have some an arrow option in your line segments there?
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, I'll start that now. I'm not going to go all the way back there.
No, I don't think you should.
That would be ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, right.
All right. So the question was, Alice proposed B4 here, and Thomas Lobb said, yeah, the justification can put back to B3. And then where do I draw it over here? Because in the class, some people were just drawing it down here over to the side, but we've sort of come up with a convention for where I draw something that Alice proposed. So, well, I'm going to put it right here, just like in the Alice column is what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. So justification arrow back this way.
Oh, and so it's also possible that Alice saw Bob's B2 block, right? I mean, Bob has less weight than Claire anyway.
Right. That was actually the scenario that I was describing. So good call. Okay. So we want that arrow too, right?
Yeah.
Without that arrow, Alice didn't even have an interesting choice to make, right? B3 was just the tip, so she builds there. But with this arrow, now she does have a choice to make, and so she built this way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Very nice. That looks good. Yeah. You want to share that idea?
Well, okay. So I think I just understood the ghost rule a little bit more, but we're just not far enough in for it to make any difference. And also maybe we don't have enough validators for it to really make all that much difference.
Oh yeah, like ghost might become more interesting with more.
Yeah, because from my understanding with the ghost rule, we want to choose like the heaviest path and not just the heaviest tip, but that's sort of what we've been doing, is just choosing the heaviest tip. But I think it's because we don't have enough options to actually choose from.
Yeah, okay, right. So I understood the heaviest tip more because you were saying that a week ago, and I only a little bit understood it, but let me make sure or see if my understanding is right. So yeah, okay. From Alice's perspective, as she was considering where to put B4, she knew about two tips, right? She knew about B2 and B3 that were both tips of the blockchain. Yeah. And then in order to decide which one she was going to build on, she only looked at B2 and B3 and said, like, which tip is heaviest? And the answer was, well, B2 has weight of 3 from Bob. B3 has weight of 4 from Claire, and so that was it.
Yeah.
But Ghost is something more like we start at Genesis and I guess we do it over here. We start at Genesis and every step of the way we ask ourselves, like, okay, which of the multiple ways we can fork, we look at everything built off of that tree and see which one has the heaviest, well, the heaviest subtree, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's right. So basically, like in our case here, we have like two blockchains that are going, right? So there's B0, B1, B2, or there's B0, B1, B3. Like those are the two options for blockchains.
Yeah.
And so we're weighting each one of the blocks as we go through, and we want to pick that heaviest tree. So just because there's not enough options here, I think that's also the heaviest tip kind of by default. But that in general, that's not going to be the case.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm trying to think about whether we can make this be interesting ghost-wise, but I'm not seeing how we can yet.
Yeah, that might be something for next time to come up with a really interesting case of the ghost rule application.
Okay, cool. So we'll do a few more blocks here, and then we'll clear it out and add a fourth validator and play Ghost.
Cool.
Casper Ghost. I'm gonna close Discord real quick. Okay, cool. So all right, so let's just say Claire makes another one now. So definitely it's going to go in the Claire column Casper wise, but then the question is, well, where does it go in the blockchain? And I guess before we can answer where it goes in the blockchain, I have to tell you what Claire has seen. So let's just say I'm just going to make something up at random, and clearly Claire has to have seen her own latest block, or else she's equivocating. And then let's just say she's seen block B2, Bob's latest block, but for whatever reason she has not yet seen B4 from Alice. Okay, so now the question is, where does B5 go over on the blockchain diagram? So Claire basically knows about like this much of, oh boy, that's not quite what I wanted.
I think I know where, but I'm gonna let somebody else answer that question.
He knows about basically that much.
Oh no.
That much of the blockchain.
So
What was the question? Sorry, I was putting in my headphones. Sorry.
Yeah, so the question is, Claire's about to build block B5, and she's seen B3. Of course she's seen that. That was her own block. And she's also, at this point, seen block B2. She's seen Bob's B2 up here. She has not yet seen this B4 that Alice created, because I didn't put the justification over here. So where should Claire, in the right diagram, in the blockchain, where should Claire build block 5? And so, basically the options are she either builds off of B2 or she builds off of B3.
She will build off of B3 only because, and I could be totally wrong with this, only because wait, let me find B3. Yeah, because it's going off of Alice, she should have the most weight, so still follow that trend, correct?
So you're saying build off of B3, right? That was your answer?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think build off of B3 is correct. Wait, how do I draw that? Like this, I guess. B5. Yeah, I think that's correct. And so then the analysis is like she was either going to build off of B3 or B2. And so just like Alice did, just like you said, Jeremy, she has the same decision Alice had. Do I build off of Claire's weight 4 block or Bob's weight 3 block? And the answer, according to this heaviest tip rule that we're playing, is you build off of Claire's, off of B3 because Claire was heavier. Okay, very good. So then let's say at this point, Bob makes another block. B6, and we have to answer what has Bob seen so far. So let's say he's seen that and also this. So my first question is, notice yeah, go ahead.
And then also B2.
Yeah, yeah. So that was going to be my question. So I didn't draw this vertical arrow back to B2, and my question was, does that mean Bob has equivocated?
I say yes.
Tomislav says yes.
I say no.
I say no as well.
Jeremy says no. Why no, Jeremy?
Only because if you look at B4's justification, it still links back to B2. And so if he would have just went with B4, he hasn't equivocated because he already saw it in the justification of himself.
Yeah, that's right. It doesn't have to be a direct justification because it's already an indirect dependency. I think that's right. Definitely we could draw this and it still is not an equivocation and is still not invalid, but we need not draw it in this case. Whoops. Okay. All right, so now we have the classic question, does Bob build off of, oh, so this is an interesting thing, right? Bob has now sort of like caught back up with the rest of the world. He got a bunch of information, so he knows about this whole part of the blockchain over here, and so he's abandoning his previous work. He's going to allow B2 to be orphaned off of the blockchain. So the question then is, where does Bob build? Does he build off of B4 or does he build off of B5?
B5.
B5 is a Claire block.
Oh, yeah.
I think in this case he actually wants to build off of B4 because B4 was an Alice block and Alice is heavier.
Oh, okay. I see it now.
Yeah, cool.
Oh, so I don't want to stray too far from what you guys are discussing right now, but I think this is we're very close to an instant where the ghost rule would apply instead of just the heaviest tip. And so I think let's say like hypothetical situation, if Claire had produced another block off of just her own block, and then we were looking at this situation, do we have to change too much?
No. We don't have to change. You're spot on. This is going to work out great.
Okay.
I think, right? So Claire builds here. She's, for whatever reason, only seen her own latest thing.
Yeah.
So she definitely builds off of it.
Yeah.
B7. And the arrow points back to here.
Yeah.
So now the heaviest tip.
Yeah. I think we would need to change one more block. If we could change what B6 has seen, or maybe I don't know the number or something. I'm not really sure.
Okay, let's do this. Let's save this. I'm gonna add some annotations and save it because we've done good work here, and then we can make a copy and shred it to pieces to make an interesting ghost example.
Okay, cool.
That sound good? So on the left side over here, we have the Casper view, and on the right side, we have blockchain view. Okay, cool. And then that's already saved, right? So how do I make a new, can I add like a slide here, or do we have to make a new doc, or how does that work?
I don't think that you can create a new slide.
Okay, cool. So that's okay. So we have another, Tomislav, you gave us a link too, right? Let's use that one.
File, make a copy. File, make a copy.
Oh, great. Oh, thanks, Jim. Oh, you might have to do that, Jim. That's grayed out for me.
Weird.
Maybe because you're the owner?
I don't know.
You can open my link.
Maybe because
you're not signed in.
Yeah. Because you're right, you're not signed in Google. That's why.
Oh yeah, where would it make a copy to? Yeah.
Okay, here's oops. Here's the link.
I can't get my. There we go. Nice. Okay, chat. Close. Oh no, I clicked it twice. Oh, what?
Oops. Let me just check the share.
Okay, cool.
Oh, it knows your RChain email. That's interesting.
But for whatever reason, I don't know the password to that anymore, and I'm basically certain it's not because like someone changed it out from under me or something. It just.
I assumed it would copy the permissions also when I copied it, but I had to make it copy again. So if you reload, you should get it now.
Nice. All right.
Josh is trying to equivocate of making a copy.
No, I still don't have it.
Click on the original link again.
Hi, drawer. Yay. Okay, there we go.
Hi, drawer.
And now this time we're going to play Greedy Heaviest Observed Subtree. Okay, so I'm all the way in here and everything, but Isaac, what did you want to, how do we set this up so that we can...
Okay, thinking about it a little bit more, it might just be easier to start from the beginning, and we can, I can, so like four blocks, I think I can show the difference between heaviest tip and the ghost roll.
Okay, all right, cool. You can jump in here and edit too, right?
All right, yeah, let me figure out how to do that first. Oh boy, we're gonna go through that whole same learning curve for me now as well.
Or you
We can understand the consensus protocols, but when it comes down to Google Draw, man.
Yeah. It's over my head.
that's why it takes a whole community.
Yeah, that's right. Doesn't seem like it wants to do this link. I'm not sure if my computer is loading, frozen, or I don't know.
On vacation. All right, that's okay. I'll keep rolling here. I think we can salvage some of this, right? Genesis block definitely stays. Someone has to go first. That's fine.
So here's the only difference I think that we need is so delete B6 and its justifications, if that's possible. Oh, nice. Yeah, I guess now B7 is really B6. Not that it really matters. Yeah. Okay. And now B7. Let's make it a block that Bob is proposing, and he's seeing B4 and B6. Yeah, perfect.
Now that I'm an expert at this, I'm gonna even be a little bit picky and make that point up a little bit.
Oh yeah, there you go. Nice. Wow, that looks great.
Thanks, man. Jeremy taught me.
Yeah, I hear he's an expert.
Yeah. All right. So now the question then is, where does B7 go over here? Yeah. Right. And so maybe I'll try to analyze it the way we were before, not the Ghost way, and then you can explain what's different in Ghost.
Yep.
So the heaviest tip way, we're choosing between B4 and B6. B4 is an Alice block, and she's heavier than Claire, so heaviest tip, he would build off of B4, and it would go right here.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so you can analyze the Ghost way.
Yeah, so now with the Ghost way, we actually have to look at the different blockchains that we're choosing to build off of, right? So we're only looking at two different options here. So the first option is B0, B1, B3, B4.
That's one blockchain.
That's one blockchain. That's choosing to build off of the Alice block. The other blockchain is B0, B1, B3, B5, B6.
Okay. And
now
we're also supposed to be choosing between B0, B1, B2, right?
Yeah, and we could also have that as a choice, but it's maybe pretty clear that that's not the best choice.
Yeah, we've moved past that. Okay, cool. So what do we do?
This is from B0, not from B1. I mean, B1 is like a parent from both chains.
Yeah, B1 is the most recent common ancestor for all of these tips.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought you go from get Genesis, and every time there's a fork, you choose the heaviest, and then you go back, right?
Okay, so let's do that. Jeremy, how do I change the color of the text I'm typing?
Just select and you will get the menu to change the text color.
Oh, cool.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so we'll put our scores in red here. So am I understanding? I think I know at least how to start, at least until there's a fork. We just say like everyone has built off of B0 at some point, so we can say that all 12 of the weight has seen it. Does that sound right? Isaac or Dora?
I'm not 100% sure but that sounds good to me.
Okay. Sorry, can you repeat that?
So yeah, so like in red, I'm trying to draw the like the I don't even know what the word is. I don't know if it's score or whatever, but I was trying to indicate that like every validator has built off of the Genesis block, and so their full weight, the 5 + 3 + 4, has seen the Genesis block. Or maybe seen is the word.
Right.
Thinks
yeah. So yeah, that makes sense.
So I'll use the Tomislav trick here and say that's also true for B1. But now it gets kind of interesting, right? So Bob's most recent. How do I do this, Drew or Isaac?
Well, so nobody's built off of B2, right? So it should only have Bob's weight. So maybe it's weight 3.
Okay.
Or score
Yep.
3 or whatever we're calling it. Does that sound right?
That seems reasonable, Drew.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So
Yeah, how about B3 now?
for B3 was a Claire block, and Claire. Oh, so I think we need to look at the most recent message from every validator.
Yeah.
Look at B6.
So
Yeah, go ahead, Drew.
okay, so I thought we kind of like assume we're going one by one when they were added, but we can just go by the latest one, as you said.
So okay, so Claire has B6, Bob has B2, and Alice has B4. Because this is B7 is the one that we're considering, right? So I don't think we want to. It's not in the blockchain yet.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
B4 and B6 have both built off of this. So I guess that gives a weight of 9, a score of 9.
That sounds right.
Okie dokie. And then for B4, B4 is only Alice, so it has 5. I get a score of 5. And B5, well, it has both of these blocks, but they're both Claire blocks.
Right.
So 4 and 4. Okay, I think that might be right.
Looks good to me.
Mhm.
Oh, and this is super interesting. At every fork, the children add up to the parent. So here we had a 12 and it split into a 3 and 9, and here we had a 9 and it split into a 5 and 4. Here we had a 4 and it split into only a 1 block, so we still have a 4.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really interesting. So maybe if at any point we sum all of the tips, we should get the full validator weight.
So, question. If we're forking from the one that essentially totals out to the most weight, earlier when you asked with, who did B6, Claire, or no, Bob, which block he would, no, it wasn't Bob, it was Claire, when you said it was going to be B5?
Yeah.
Because of the weight, so technically would it be go back to B4?
If I think that's true, but if Claire had seen B4, but Claire has not seen B4.
Oh, okay.
But now we have that exact situation, right? So Bob is going next, and Bob has seen B4, B6, and B2. So this is super cool. So where does Bob build then?
Yeah, so now the question is, like, with the ghost rule, do we now go and like score each of these possible blockchains to build off of? So that's what I was assuming we do, right? Like go through and add up all of the scores for each of the blocks in each of the blockchains. So there's like 3 possible blockchains to build off at this point, because Bob has seen, of course, his B2 block, Alice's B4 block, and Claire's B6 block, right? So it's possible to build off of any of those tips.
So I was thinking. Yeah, go ahead, Drew.
I thought the only, like, if you could see this view, then you're probably gonna build on B6.
Yeah, that's what I would say, right? Because that's the heaviest chain that we have.
Oh, okay, yeah. I thought you were like, let's try all of them or something. But yeah,
Oh,
okay,
well,
yeah.
I mean, in general, we probably should add them all up, but I think it's pretty clear because it's like a difference of 8 and 5.
Wait a second. I'm not clear on that. So okay, Genesis block 12, easy. B1, 12, easy. Now we have a choice which way to go, right? So I think the choice is between 3 over here and what? The sum of all of 9 plus 5 plus 4 plus 4?
No, I would say 9.
Yeah, okay, yeah, just between 3 and 9.
Okay, well, if that's the case, we chose 9 over 3, then when we get to this fork, we're not going to B5, we're going to B4.
Yeah, so if you've
So,
seen
yeah.
before, then you go there.
So the difference is, okay, so this is more the ghost rule, I think, that in the Casper paper, because it's based on weight. Sorry, I was talking about the ghost from the ghost paper, which is longest chain.
But the weight,
my
it would tend to be the longest chain, but the weight, if you add up the 4, the 9, the 12, and the 12, that's going to be greater than adding the 5, the 9, the 12, and the 12. So
yeah, so yeah, I need to look at the Casper paper.
Yeah, so let's dig that up. What's my fastest, shortest path to that paper? .com/Ethereum. Is it this one, Casper TFG, or where should I go?
That's not the newest one. The fastest way to go would probably be through the Discord channel, because I have all that stuff pinned.
Oh, great. Oh, perfect.
Yeah, that shared folder with all the papers in there. I just recently put the new one in there too.
Perfect.
But while we're looking for it, I think maybe we should just like kind of talk about it a little bit. And you know, and I think I agree that it should be the heavier of the, you know, blocks on the fork, because if you think about it, if somebody with not a lot of stake just starts building tons of blocks off of their own block, then it's like they're automatically going to have the heaviest chain just because they have so many blocks associated with it. So that doesn't seem right somehow.
That's a good point.
It's the minimal CBC Casper, I think, that's the newest one, if that's the one we're looking for.
Isaac.
Yeah.
But if you build from your own chain, is this like make a heavier chain, or this is just only for you? So.
Yeah, right. I mean, I guess that's what we're discussing right now, and what I'm arguing in favor of is that shouldn't make the chain heavier, because I think it's only for choosing the fork.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, so Ghost is a construction proposed to tackle reduced security issues in blockchains with fast confirmation times. Here we present CBC specification for Ghost-based fork choice rule. Okay, so starting from the Genesis block G, we can define all blocks in a blockchain to have a previous block, what we've been calling a parent, and some block data. So B0 is the set of just the Genesis, and then Bn is the parent plus whatever data it has. And then for some arbitrary B, it's the union of all the BI. I don't really understand what that last one means.
I think, so B is just like all possible blockchains.
Okay. Blocks/blockchains will be the consensus value for the blockchain. Okay, right. Okay, so that means like in binary consensus, the consensus value is 0 or 1. Here, our consensus value is going to be like the tip of a blockchain. So every block in a blockchain has a single parent. So he defines this function previous, which
oh, the Genesis is its own previous block.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
B prime otherwise, if B equals B, yeah, and otherwise it's just the parent. So yeah, this basically says the Genesis block is its own parent. Trippy.
Yeah.
Was G. Excuse me.
Bless you.
What is? Oh, okay.
What is proj 1?
Yeah, so proj 1 is the projection onto the first coordinate. So that previous prev block, so prev B is like a tuple, right? It's B prime and the data. So it's like the previous block or blockchain or whatever, and the data that you're adding to it. So it's just the projection to that blockchain or the block.
So proj 1 of B just means grab the first item out of the tuple.
That's right. Yeah, just take B prime.
So these are two different ways of expressing exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay, the ancestor, the nth generation ancestor, so a recursive definite. This is exactly what we expected, right? So like let's go to our example. So the two cester of B6 is 1, 2. It's B3.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay. A block is in the blockchain. Nice quotes, Vlad. In the blockchain of another block, if it's one of its ancestors. Okay. I'm not going to read the notation. That's pretty clear from words.
Yeah.
You define the score of a block B in state sigma as the total weight of validators with latest blocks such that B is in the blockchain of B prime. Okay. I think that's what we needed, right?
Yeah.
So let's see if we did that right. So the score of some block is the total weight of validators with latest blocks B prime such that B is in the blockchain of B prime.
Yeah, I think that's how we were doing it.
I think so too. So let's just make sure. The latest blocks were B4, B2, and B6.
Yep.
Yeah, this is, so right, B4, B2, and B6. And that's totally how we did it. So I think we got these scores right.
Yeah.
Okay.
This also answers the question. If you're just making your own blocks, you're not doing anything.
Yeah, right. Because you're not adding to the total weight of validators that's building off of that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and we even showed that right here, too, now that I think about it. B5 was just 4. If it wasn't 8 because of this other block, it wouldn't be 12 or 16 if Claire went rogue down here.
Right. Yeah, and we wouldn't have that condition that you said. If we add up all the leaves in this tree that we have here, that'll sum to the total weight, which I think is right.
Yeah, okay, good. So then the last question is, now that we've scored this, how do we decide where to build, right?
Yeah.
And so I want to hypothesize that the option is you start at Genesis and you traverse the tree, and every time there's a fork, you just go whichever way you don't look infinitely far ahead. You just look at each child and you go whichever way has the heavier child.
Yep.
So let's see if that's in here somewhere. Okay, so the estimator.
So if you go to the argmax, right, to choose the best children.
Best children is a function from a block and a protocol state sigma to the power set of from a blockchain. How do you read that?
Yeah, B is a blockchain, or well, B is really all possible blockchains.
Okay, right. And sigma is what you've seen, some protocol state that you've seen.
Yeah.
And then the power set of all blockchain, any subset of all blockchains.
So the power set is, okay, if you have 2 children with the same weight max, right? So let's say they both were like weight of 5, then you return both of them.
Oh.
In our case, it's 4 or 5, so we're going to return the 5 as the best child, right?
So let's see. So the best children. Oh, it's called best children. I get it. Okay, so Dror, you're saying the reason it's not called best child is because there might be ties, and then it returns a set.
The powers, yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So the best children is the argmax of B prime and the children, the score of B prime and sigma. Yeah. So whichever of these children has the best score, right?
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
So I think it makes sense, right? Because so I was going through the proof of work cost rule, which is basically the heaviest based on number of blocks. But because we have weights, I guess this makes sense because it's cheap to produce blocks.
Yeah, right. Oh, right. Oh, yeah. So that attack that Isaac was talking about, where you just create a ton of blocks on your own chain, is not possible in proof of work.
I mean,
unless you have really good mining hardware or whatever.
No, you still need to probably pay kind of, yeah, it's going to cost you something, right? But it's cheap to produce, so yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So if this were proof of work, it would be a little different. Like we would score this block as 1, 2, 3 because there are 3 descendants.
Yeah.
But in proof of stake, it's different, and we score it the way we just scored it.
Yeah.
Okay, so best children then is going to return just B4, I think, for this B7.
Yeah.
So we can safely build B7 right
So
here.
so the question is, how come B6 happened, right?
B6, that is a
Who
good
made
question.
B5? B5 made Claire, right? So Claire made it.
Yeah.
So she should have gone to.
Well, yeah, but in our justification diagram over there, B5
She didn't see it.
she only saw her own block and Bob's block, not B4.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that looks sufficiently beautiful at this point.
I think it looks just plain beautiful.
So, okay, yeah, so Isaac, you were saying that B6 is okay because Claire hadn't seen B4 at the time?
Yeah, so
B4 wasn't there.
with
Sorry.
B6, the only option was build off of B2 or build off of B5, and B5 was definitely the better choice.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So that's all good now that we've got B7 in place, but when we go to build another one, like what I'm wondering is like how much of these red numbers do we have to redo when we go to build a new block? So what if we just have, like, is it a good idea to have Alice build one, or who should build the next one?
Yeah, sure. Do Alice building one off of whatever you want.
Okay. So B8 is going to be Alice's, and let's say she's seen. Okay, well, if we just draw this one, she's seen everything now.
Yeah.
So now we've got to go score stuff, right? So 12 is still right here, 12 is still right here, but B2 is no longer Bob's latest block. So I think this goes to 0.
That would make sense.
Because he said we define the score of a block of some block B in some state sigma. And so I'm taking sigma to mean like, we're talking about an Alice block right now. So sigma is whatever Alice has seen, right? Whatever Alice is aware of.
And she's aware of everything currently.
In this case, she's aware of everything.
Yeah.
So I'm reading this as the score of some block in Alice's worldview is the total weight of validators whose latest blocks, who have the block we're asking in their latest blockchain.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and B2 is in nobody's blockchain, right?
Right. It used to be in Bob's, but then Bob's down here, so I think this is
right. Yeah, that sounds right.
So that means everyone has built off of B3, so this is up to 12. Oh, so we're starting to get some notion of finality here too.
Yeah.
Okay. So then we have to say, is B4 still someone's latest block? It's Alice's.
Alice's.
So it gets 5. No, that's not right. It gets, wow, this is kind of confusing.
Yeah, it should get 8 now, right? Because Bob's also building off of that.
Yeah. B5 is no one's latest block, but B6 is. So I think we're doing this the wrong way. I don't think we're supposed to start at Genesis. We're supposed to start at everyone's latest block and then work up the tree.
Okay.
Because what I'm having to do here is, like, in order to score this one, I have to look ahead.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, right.
Tree traversal, that's really expensive if this tree was really big.
Yeah.
I'd have to traverse. Yeah, okay. Anyway, so what goes?
So B7 should just be 3, right?
B7 was a Bob block, so yeah, I think its score is 3.
Yeah, and it's going to change here in a second, but I think that's right for now.
Okay, so now is when we traverse it starting from Genesis. We say 12, 12, 0 or 12 while we're going here.
Yeah.
8 or 4, we're going here, and now there's only one place we can go, which is here.
Yep.
So B8. Gets built there. Jeremy, help. I don't think that's semantically what I wanted, but it looks pretty good.
Oh no.
There we go.
Perfect.
All right. Should we wrap on that? Or I wanted to talk about FLP impossibility for at least a second.
Oh, it's my all right. What is FLP impossibility? I didn't get a chance to look at it.
That's a good question. Well, yeah, go ahead, bro.
I think if I remember correctly, it's liveness, safety, asynchrony, and deterministic result. Choose 3.
Yeah.
And
it's that you can't
cannot have all of them.
Yeah.
It's one of those. It's a trilemma where you can have 2 out of 3. Any 2 out of 3.
But it's 3 out of 4.
Oh, what were the 4?
So it's either you're gonna have like a deterministic result.
Okay.
So basically, if you want finality, if you want asynchrony, and liveness and safety. So if you think about Bitcoin, I'm pretty sure Bitcoin is asynchronous, but it doesn't have finality, right? You have like a non-deterministic result because anyone can show up with longer chain at any point.
Yeah, like we could, some miner who's been mining in secret could come up with this new chain and expose it, and then we have a reorg that's like 100 blocks deep at any point, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, there's kind of a proof that shows that you cannot have all of them. And actually the first Casper paper mentioned it. I think in the end it kind of mentioned that's not solved. Vlad mentioned it later on as well. So they probably what we're gonna expect from the final or like the next Casper paper will be, so this was minimal. The previous ones were like abstract. The next one will be about the consensus protocol, and probably it's gonna be like have some partial asynchrony in the protocol, so it's not gonna be asynchronous.
Yeah. So the reason that this was on my mind is because the Casanova paper just came out, and Casanova does have what you just described, Dror, where it's like they don't assume total asynchrony, right? They assume that the network will eventually deliver every message in some time span. They don't say what it is. They don't even care to know what it is, but it just exists. And so when Greg was like rebutting Casanova on the last debrief that I watched, which was not this most recent one, or maybe even 2 ago, I don't remember. He mentioned FLP impossibility, but then, in classic Joshi style, I didn't look into it. So,
right.
I think the simple view of it is that if you have one faulty processor, you can't get consensus. Guaranteed.
What do you mean?
That's the FLP impossibility. There's an FLP impossibility. You get deterministic consensus in the presence of a single faulty processor.
And what are assumptions in this statement? You are assuming that you must have confirmation for all validators, or I'm not completely sure what is.
You have to look at the proof, but I'll find a reference.
Yeah, so maybe this is a good. It's 10 o'clock now, so maybe this is a good place to jump off next time, so we can talk about FLP impossibility, and then maybe dig into Casanova a little bit.
Yeah, sure. I just found the paper. Let me see how possible it is to read it, and if it's not that crazy.
Yeah, this might be one that I can explain.
What was that?
Drewer found the paper. He wants to see how readable it is.
Oh, all right, cool.
Well, I tried to use the word possibility, but I couldn't kind of come up with a sentence. Come on.
I put one reference there. I think it should be even in the Wikipedia article.
You put it in Discord, Jim?
Oh no, I put it in the Zoom chat.
Drop it in Discord, then we'll all be able to find it after after some time goes by.
Okay, it looks like it's pretty readable. I'm gonna put it on Discord, and I think that's the paper. I might be wrong. I mean, just basically did the basic. Oh yeah, Jim just put it. Sorry.
Okay.
Cool. We can read it for next time.
That sounds awesome. Yeah, that sounds great. Anybody want to volunteer to host for next time?
I'll run the Zoom, but I don't want to host.
Okay.
Wow. Usually we fight
a
over
while.
I mean, I can do it.
All right, cool. All right, thanks, Drew. That sounds good. So I see Jay showed up. Tomislav, are you gonna show us how to use Parsec? I think you're muted, man.
Oh yeah, I said sure.
Yeah, awesome. I'm excited about that. Jim, do you have anything going in your room? Can we hang out here for a little while?
Sure.
What was that?
Nothing. You can use it all day, I think.
Awesome, man. Okay, cool. All right, thanks. So I guess anyone's welcome to stay, and then Tomislav is gonna teach us some Haskell stuff, right?
Cool.
All right, cool. Do you want the screen share, Tomislav?
Yeah, should we stop recording and start again to have two different recordings?
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah, awesome.
All right, I'm gonna take off, guys. See you
Okay.
later.
Bye, Isaac.
See you.